Alright, hey y'all, this is the next video covering the new Negro movement, Harlem Renaissance. Alright, so we got early 20th century visual culture, a period of radical new subject matter, new media, and experimentation that challenges academic art. Okay, and here's all the things that were covered, or not covered. Here's all the things that kind of inspired uh, this new oh my gosh, what is the word that inspired this surge of this new thought, this new political thought, this new whatever. Yes, you understand. And heavy on the political because of like all the different types of wars that happened like during this. So yeah, and not only that, but also race and civil rights issues. So we got early 20th century African American aesthetic expression, intersections of history, culture, and expression within the context of modernism, influenced by the dynamics of migration, of space migration, and the concept of the Black cultural urban center, the new Negro movement, the Harlem Renaissance. All right, so we got the Great Migration. This was basically black people like removing themselves from the South because they were trying to escape uh all of the harsh racism and stuff, right? um Not only that, but they also wanted to get some new opportunities. But as you can see right here, um they're often not welcome in the North and viewed as competition for jobs, culturally backwards, and as outsiders who upset the racial balance of the North, because the North was very much so white and industrial and stuff. Since the 1970s, Black Americans have been migrating back to the South, and I wonder why. Because, well, one, they were finding the same things happening to them in the North, but I guess on a smaller level compared to the South. And so they were just like, you know what, fuck it. And you know what, me too. But anyways, World War One, the Great War, World War One transferred the U.S. into a world military and economic power. End of World War One in 1918. Difficult period. There was poverty, crop failure caused by the boll weevil insect or whatever, I think. And that is also what had caused a lot of black people to like move away because there was so much failure in those crop fields anyway. Anywho, lynching in the South at an all-time high. When black men returned from service in WW1 in 1919, most major cities experienced race riots. Okay. Now we got new urban cultures, concentration of African Americans in cities like New York, St. Louis, Washington, D.C., Kansas, yada, yada, yada. And more relevant to us, Memphis, by the way. And also more relevant, Beale Street in Memphis, by the way. Anyways, so centered around a group of black intellectuals who urged their group to draw upon their rich heritage of music, personal experience, and history to express their distinctive American experience, their soul. The creative work inspired by this perspective was overwhelmingly optimistic and celebratory of African American culture. Intellectual, social, political influences. We got W.E.B. Du Bois, all right, created Souls of Black Folk, 1903, editor of the Crisis magazine. Double consciousness philosophy of two-ness, double heritage. All right, okay, and I think that's kind of referring to the fact that like we're not completely torn off, as black people from our African ancestry as much as we like to. I mean, yes, obviously we're different, in a lot of ways, but in other ways, like such as like the maintaining of certain African traditions, but being renamed in a different way, like very like how food is handled, like for example, just for a random example, like that would be something that I feel like he's referring to, like with double heritage, because it's like, yeah, African, but you live in America, but you still are tied to, you know, your African side. It's just, yeah, whatever, you get what I'm saying. Anyways, Pan-Africanist, and he was one of the founders of the NAACP. Period. Okay, we have African American arts, racial uplift, and then we have Marcus Garvey, Jamaican immigrant, founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, promoted race solidarity, nationalism, returned to Africa, founded the newspaper, The Negro World. Also, I did ask, like, what's the difference between race solidarity? No, what was the difference between? Oh my gosh, what the hell did I ask about? Anyways, I think it was like, what was the difference between the? Oh wait, okay, I just realized. Okay, Marcus, he basically was like, okay, well, you know, if we're trying to like, and I'm just guessing here based on this thing right here, return to Africa, but anyways, whatever. Moving on. Alain Locke. We got my main Alain Locke. Okay, period. Locke was the philosopher of the movement, responsible for naming it the New Negro Movement, as he should, and that's on period. He published the literary and artistic handbook, The New Negro, 1925. Philosophy. New generation of blacks who had achieved social and economic improvements since slavery. Blacks should draw from their unique experience, racial expression. Urge blacks to familiarize themselves with the African racial spirit. Blacks should likewise draw inspiration from their Southern folk heritage, and that's on period. And as you can read on the side here, PhD in philosophy from Harvard University. Okay, and he's the first African American selected as a Rhodes Scholar to the University of Oxford. And that's on period. Also, black LGBT person here. Okay. Love that, because I feel like black LGBT people get so underrepresented, like, when it comes to this, because, like, it do be black LGBT people who actually, who do be contributing a whole lot, actually. So, I mean, yeah, I'm so glad that, you know, we're able to learn about him, you know, and everything that he did, and everything he's accomplished, and everything that he's inspired, by the way. But anywho, we also have the New Negro Movement became known as the Harlem Renaissance, promoting Harlem as the cultural capital of Black America. Racial pride was expressed in literary performance and the visual arts because the arts can prove one's humanity and promote equality. Yes, because, like, especially, like, when they themselves could not just be listened to, like, you know, as they were, like, artistic expression was a way to convey their point. Though, as we're about to get into race and white patronage, the problem came into when basically, like, their message would get out there, right? But it would start attracting white people who wanted to use that for bad and who wanted to exploit that. Or bring awareness to it. Like, not all the times bad, but questionable, really questionable. So the new Negro movement, attracts white patrons. White creative workers like novelists, dramatists, and composers are also fundamentally influenced by black culture. This raises concerns about appropriation exploitation. Okay, not every white person was interested, in exploiting black people, but majority, yeah, because a lot of white people found something useful or something that they could use in order to make themselves feel, I guess, stronger. And I also kind of parallel that to, like, today, like, how a lot of white people will, you know, adopt, like, certain caricatures of, like, black people to make themselves seem, like, for men, white men, to make themselves seem more threatening or seem more masculine, and for, you know, white women to seem more, I guess, feminine or a powerful type of feminine. Like, ew. Anyways, it's gross. We got Carl Vetchen, and you're going to have to write this down because we're going on 9 minutes, and I got to stop this for YouTube. But anyways, actually, I'll see y'all in the next video.